This conference will now be recorded.
Ashok Sam.
Hello, Ashok and
Ashok Sam, are you
Shanti.
able to hear me?
Hi Nikita, this is Shyam. Can you hear me?
Hey, hi, it's Gaurav here. I can hear you.
Okay, Gaurav. Morning.
Yeah,
This
yeah. Good morning.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
just I'm confirming with Ashok whether he is able to hear me or not. Ashok, are you there?
Yeah, Gaurav. Actually, Ashok is able to hear us, but his mic
Hmm.
is not working properly, I think. So he will type in a chat box if he has some queries.
Okay, no issues. Yeah. Yeah.
Ashok,
Okay, so guys,
yeah, you can hear me, right, Ashok? Okay, we'll start the session, no problem.
okay. Yeah.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Sam, just confirm me once you're able to see my screen.
Yes, Gaurav, I can see your screen now.
Okay, great. Okay. So, first of all, good morning and welcome to this S4HANA Finance demo session. Okay, so agenda for today's demo is like we'll start with our introduction, then we'll go through the demo topics, then I'm having small PowerPoint presentation for you people, and then I will give you the course introduction. Okay, then after that, if you are having any questions related to the course contents, you can discuss with me. If you are having any questions related to the administration part, you can discuss with Nikita. Okay, so let's start with the introduction. Let me introduce myself. My name is Gaurav Kumar, and I'm having total experience of 16 years. In these 16 years, for 6 years, I was working in finance domain, and then I moved to SAP. From last 10 years, I'm working in SAP area. Okay, and from last more than 3 years, I'm working in S4HANA finance environment. I done one greenfield implementation and one migration project, and right now I'm working on my second migration project. Okay, so this is my small introduction. It will be good if you give your introduction, Sam.
Sure, Gaurav. Thank you. Before introduction, can I ask one more question about your introduction? Yeah, have you worked on
Yes,
controlling
yes, yes,
also?
sure.
You mentioned S4 HANA Finance. Is that including what your implementation and migration, including both finance and controlling, or it's only limited to finance?
No, it's a controlling also, but not the product costing. Just our controlling in regards to cost center and profit center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Shyam Jewelry. I've been working in SAP FICO around of 8 years now, but not for HANA. And I worked on implementations and a couple of new GL migration and of 18 to 20 rollouts, company code rollout, plant rollouts. and majorly I'm working as team leader for one of the US clients. Basically, I'm location from Hyderabad High Tech City company, but currently I'm US for one rollout project go live end of July. I'll be back to Hyderabad August middle. So this is my introduction.
Okay, good. Yeah. Thanks, Sham. Thanks for your introduction. Ashok, if you're able to hear us, can you try to give your introduction? If your mic is working now. Or you can type it in chat box also. Okay. Okay, so just starting our demo session. Let me ask you one question. What is your idea about S/4HANA Finance? Because basically, if you are looking for some kind of training, so definitely you go through some articles or some websites and you read something, or probably you got some training from your organization side. So, what do you know about S/4HANA Finance?
Yeah, currently, as I mentioned, my client is US client, and our client is also like to go for S/4HANA, and we had a couple of demos from other vendors who want to implement for this. So from that, the basic understanding, what I understood is HANA is a database developed by SAP itself to replace current whatever the other database is going to currently in market, which are using mainly like Oracle database. And with this, the database will run on the RAM instead of the hard disk. So the speed and the report running, everything will be the fast. And the main changes are on the finance side, like asset accounting and controlling side, some changes in the COPA. And product costing side, like integration, logistics changes are happening.
Yes,
And also
correct.
functionalities with central finance. Yeah, this is the basic knowledge which I have on the S/4HANA. Are you there, Gaurav? Hello? Hello?
Hello, Gaurav?
Oh, Nikita, you can hear us, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. I will check with Gaurav. Wait a minute.
Yeah, okay. I thought I am lost.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Gaurav, are you back?
Yeah. Yeah. Connection was lost. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the demo topics. So in today's demo, we are going through the common problems faced by the finance teams all over the world. Okay, and overview of functionalities and benefits provided by SAP S/4HANA for these problems faced by the finance teams. Then we will have a look on universal journal entry solution, which is introduced as a new solution here. And then
Hey,
we will see
hi.
what are the. Hey, hi Ashok.
Yeah, finally
Hi.
I reached.
Okay, finally here. Finally,
Sorry
your
for the
mic is
delay.
working now.
Yeah,
No issues,
I
no issues.
connected again.
Okay. So can you give your introduction first?
Yes, Gaurav. First of all, hi to everyone. My name is Ashok Kumar. I have total 5 years of an experience, which is 4 years for SAP, 1 year for a domain. Right now I'm working for Apple with the RMCA. So I have a little bit knowledge on S/4HANA Finance. So I'm looking for a certification of 1709 or 1803. So let me understand the introduction of HANA, what it is, and that I can choose for certification or not.
Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. So let's go through the demo topics. So our first demo topic is common problem faced by the finance team all over the world. Then we will see what are the functionalities and benefits provided by S/4HANA Finance. Then we will see the universal journal entry solution, and we'll talk about available deployment options also, and then adoption options for existing customers. And then we will have one glimpse of central finance solution also. Okay, in our demo topic. So let's start with the first point, that is common challenges and solutions. Okay. So before starting, just to make you understand that when any technology comes into the market, let it be any technology, there will be some of the problems that has been faced. So for example, why SAP HANA came into the picture? Reason is there are like some of the problems in the existing ERP which are faced by business who are using SAP ERP as of today. So in order to overcome those challenges or problems, SAP come up with the new version of SAP, and that is S/4HANA. So what are those challenges? If you see the first point, that is main point which made SAP to come up with the new solution, slower reporting and closing. I think both of you will agree, when we go to the customer and when we implement SAP, everyone will be happy with the functionalities which are provided by SAP. But from the reporting point of view or closing point of view, there are a lot of transactions or there are a lot of things that you need to perform to close the period, due to which companies are not able to complete period end activities on time. So this is the problem which is the all over. Although all this technology as API, we'll talk about API, we'll talk about the SAP HANA, but just you understand SAP HANA into the picture to reduce or remove these problems. So let's understand what is current technology, how or why the reportings are slower in our current technology. So our current system, as you know, that if you are not using SAP HANA database or SAP HANA platform, you must be using either Oracle or SQL Server or any other third-party tools. So these traditional database, they were developed around 30, 40 years back, and when they are developed, there's variant availability of them, and with kind of 6 RAM is become very cheaper, and it is available in your mobile phones also. But early availability of RAM was a big issue, and that is the old database developed design data is in the HANA, and processing is very poor, stored compared to the data from, and this is where to the picture. So out of is to store data which is today into the RAM, then the to speed improved along in 2000 customers fault system added
Gaurav, your voice is breaking. Hello. Nikita, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you also see any voice break of Gaurav?
His voice is breaking.
Yeah. Now it's completely.
Hello, Gaurav.
Hello. Yeah. Hello.
Yes, Gaurav, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what is the issue because connection is not working properly. I think it's because of heavy rain here. Okay.
From where? Hyderabad or from which location?
No, I'm from Pune.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we were talking about HANA, right? That was the last thing you heard from me, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, main motto of HANA is to store the data which is required on day-to-day basis into RAM rather than the hard disk, due to which speed has been improved tremendously. So, SAP HANA launched in year 2011, and right now there are a lot of customers who are already running SAP system on SAP HANA database or SAP HANA platform. Okay, so SAP has the HANA as a database which has the capability to store the data in memory. So SAP HANA bought to make sure that data processing will be faster. But then because these traditional databases, they were designed in such a way that they will perform well in a data model which stores in the data in hard disk. So when SAP HANA came into the picture, although it was storing the data in memory, but the data model, means our ERP system design, that was not changed, which means the same tables were being used, the same data was getting stored in multiple tables. I would like to give an example here. So let's say whenever you perform any financial accounting transaction, BKPF table get updated, BSEC table get updated, BSIS table get updates, BSIK table in case if you are performing vendor invoicing, BSID table in case if you are performing customer invoicing, and there are a lot of tables getting updated. Why? Um, and if you're running on new GL accounting, then data is also getting stored in FAGL Flex and FAGL Flex T also. Okay, and if you know the BSIK and BSID table, they are normally contains the same data that is available in BSEC table. Only some of the fields are different. Then why same data is getting stored in BSEC, BSIS, BSID, BSIK, FAGL Flex A and FAGL Flex T kind of tables? So answer to this question is a data model. Whole data model was designed for storing the data at different level and in hard disk. So talking about the slow reporting, the first point, in traditional databases, data was getting stored in hard disk, and that is the reason why the extraction and storing of the data into the hard disk was very slower as compared to storing the data in RAM. So that is the reason why SAP HANA is called as an in-memory database. It means data will not be stored in hard disk, but it will be stored in memory. Then what is the difference between SAP HANA and SAP S/4HANA? So SAP HANA already came into the picture in 2011 as a database platform, and there were customers who are running their SAP processes on SAP HANA platform. Okay, but data model was not changed. We're using the same data model uh, on SAP HANA database. Okay, but now when we are talking about SAP S/4HANA, there are some drastic changes made in the data model, which means data model has been simplified, and not only the data will be stored in memory, but there will be less number of tables which will be affected. So if you come to the second point, time consuming reconciliation in today's system within financial accounting or within controlling, there are various submodules. Like in finance, we are having submodules like AR, AP, GL, asset accounting. So due to these submodules, there were some reconciliation issues. For example, my asset accounting balances and my GL account balances are not matching because I passed some entries in GL accounting directly, which is just not affecting in my asset accounting. Okay. But now when we are talking about SAP S/4HANA Finance, all these submodules are merged. Okay, and today what is happening, there is a separate set of tables for financial accounting, separate set of tables for controlling. So for example, controlling transactions are getting updated in COEP, while financial accounting transactions are getting updated in BSEG. Okay, and at the month end we need to put so much efforts and we need to invest our time to do the reconciliation for all these database. So for this, SAP come up with the new solution that is called Universal Journal Entry Solution. Okay, and SAP called this solution as a single source of truth. Okay, because for this Universal Journal Entry Solution, SAP introduced a new table that is called ACDOCA. That is the technical name, ACDOCA. Some people called it as ACDOCA. Some people called it as ACDOC-A. Okay, so in Universal Journal Entry Solution, all the data uh, is going to be stored in a single table, that is ACDOC-A, and in a single line item. Okay, so we are doing the reconciliation to match the data from the different tables stored in a different tables, but now everything is going to be stored in a single table and a single line item, so there will be no need of reconciliation of totals or finance and controlling. Okay, and again this ACDOC table is going to be play a major role in S/4HANA Finance. Okay, so in subsequent slides we are going to talk about this Universal Journal Entry Solution and ACDOC table more. So the third point here is high cost of operations. Okay, so as we know that whenever clients uh, choose SAP, and once implementation is done, after that they need to take care of their SAP operations, and they need to invest money on users training. Okay, and the implementation of new things again and again. Okay, and there is a possibility of the human errors, because in SAP screens, if you see in a single transactions there are hundreds of fields available, and probably let's say let's take an example of one end user who is just punching up the financial document, and he needs to uh, give input only for 10 to 15 fields. Okay, but at the time when he opens some transactions like FB50 or any other transaction, there are hundreds of fields available on screen, so there is no need to use other fields, but there could be possibility that due to human error, by mistake, the end user given some wrong inputs in a wrong field, that could cause big issue. Okay, so to reduce these kind of issues and to reduce the training cost, and to get the faster approvals for documents, SAP come up with the new module that is called SAP Fury. Okay, SAP called this as a beautiful user experience also. Okay, because in SAP Fury you can uh, create your own apps which can work on any device, whether it will be mobile, laptop, tablet, or desktop. Okay, which means that users can use SAP on the go, and they can provide their approvals very faster. Okay, so it is going to reduce the cost of operations. And again, to reduce the human errors, you can design your app screen in a way where you can provide only required fields on the screen. Okay, so again, these apps are role-based apps also, so you can create apps as per requirement of different roles. So fourth point here is the high cost of infrastructure. Okay, so right now clients need to take care of their hardware and software requirements for SAP system. Okay, and it's a huge cost when we see the cost of upgradation of hardware and maintenance and purchasing of software licenses. Okay, so to reduce that cost, SAP come up with the SAP's cloud services and leasing applications. Okay, by using these cloud services and leasing the applications, client can reduce the cost. Okay, so these are some of the common challenges and solutions provided by SAP. Okay, there are so many challenges depend upon the different business areas, but these are the some of the common ones. So any question here?
No, all good.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's talk about the current architecture. If you see this picture on screen, here in the middle there is a yellow box which represents the GL accounting, and on the right and left hand side there are other yellow boxes which represents the sub modules in our finance, like controlling, material ledger, and asset accounting. Okay, and at the end, um, when we post any transaction, data is going to be stored in these multiple components at the different levels and different tables. Okay, and these multiple tables are going to be updated for a single transactions. Okay, to update those components, and at the end we need to do the reconciliation, and we need to put huge efforts to do that reconciliation. So this is our current architecture, and as you know that reconciliation could take time from 4 days to 10 days or 15 days also, depend upon the um, data. So this is our current architecture. So let's go ahead and understand the new architecture, okay, which is defined in universal journal entry solution. So in this picture, if you see in the middle, there is a gray box which is representing universal journal entry solution table SCDoc A. So this universal journal entry solution table SCDoc A, it is going to be receive the data from all the areas like GL, COPA, asset accounting, controlling, and material ledger, or SD, PP, MM. Okay, and there will be only one line item available for one single transaction. So one line item will have full details of all components. Okay, and due to this there is no need of reconciliation. So this SCDoc table is right now having more than 400 columns available there, and this SCDoc table is going to be receive the data whenever any financial transactions take place in any module. Okay, right now it receives the data from FI, no, CO, and all the sub modules of FI and CO, then SD, MM, PP, QM, project systems, then real estate module, and WBS. So all the components from all these modules or all these areas, they are going to be stored in this universal journal entry table SCDoc A. Any question here?
So whatever the other tables like BSEC, BKPF will be there, or that will be replaced with AC Docker?
There are some of the tables which we called as a totals and index tables. Okay, those are going to be deleted. Okay, and those are going to be replaced by the views. Okay, so ACID table is not going to be replace any other tables. Okay, but the data will be stored in ACID first in S/4HANA Finance. Okay, and all other totals and index tables which got deleted, they will be converted into views. Okay, it is required because SAP system is developed from last 20-25 years, and these tables like BKP, BSIS, BSID, they are having roots in each and every reports and transactions. So that's why they don't want to delete it straight away. And BSEC table is there as it is. Nothing has been changed in BSEC table and BKP table also.
So those two tables will still stay.
Yes.
In that.
Yeah. Those two tables are there available.
So AC Docker is an additional table which replaces the index tables. That means.
Yeah, ACID is additional table. I don't want to say that it is going to be replaced these tables, but this table is having its own nature and own work separately from those tables. Okay, but those totals and index tables, they were reproducing the same data, okay, and storing the same data. That's why they got deleted and created as views.
Gaurav, can I add something?
Yes, Ashok.
Yeah, BKPF, BSEC are exist. When you go and see the in BSEC, you are not able to see other component data in BSEC. Whereas in AC Docker, you are able to see the data for other modules like whatever asset accounting,
correct.
material ledger, or SD, whatever. That we can able to see in the AC Docker table. Whereas BSEC, it will not be available.
Yeah. Even in BSEC, it was not available earlier also. BSEC was containing only financial data. So that's why SAP introduced this ACID table. So all the components can stored in a single table in a single line item. So our efforts which we are putting for reconciliation, those can be reduced. So that's why ACID table was introduced. But nothing has been changed in old BSEC table. All the components which are available in ECC 6.0, those components are available in S/4HANA Finance BSEC table also. Okay, any other question or shall we go ahead?
Yeah, no other question.
Okay, good. Okay, deployment options. Okay, let's talk about the deployment options available right now. There are 3 deployment options available. One is on-premise, second one is on cloud, and third one is hybrid deployment option. Okay, so let's go ahead and see some advantage and disadvantage of these deployment options. So let's start with the on-premise as a deployment option. So advantage of this on-premise deployment option is client will have full control over the system and implementation uh, of the system, which includes the functional configuration and the modification. So client can decide what configuration will take place in the system and what the upgrade will be done in the system. Okay, and client can say that okay, we don't want to go with the new changes and we are happy with the old changes. Those things can be happen in on-premise as an advantage. But again, on other hand, there are disadvantages like this on-premise deployment option requires investment to make sure that servers will be up and running. Okay, so clients needs to be purchase the hardware and software also time to time, and again client need to invest money in employees to train them in the new changes. Okay, and to make sure that employees are having latest knowledge with them to take care of their SAP systems. So this is on-premise deployment option, which we were following right now in ECC. Okay, so these servers SAP systems are established in client premises. That's why it is called as on-premise. The next deployment option here is on cloud deployment option. So advantage of on cloud deployment option is like it's a low infrastructure cost because the infrastructure and applications are managed on subscription basis. Okay, and this environment, cloud environment, will be upgraded by SAP time to time, so client will get the very latest and most advanced version of SAP. Okay, but again there is a disadvantage, like client will not have any control over any modification because this environment was taken care by SAP, so SAP will decide what to modify and what to upgrade. Okay, so for example, right now also there are few organizations who are using SAP 4.6. Okay, and they don't want to upgrade when new GL accounting or ECC 6.0 was introduced, and they are happy with the 4.6 till now. So that those kind of scenarios will not applicable in cloud option, because this cloud option is used by so many organizations at the same time. So SAP, whenever SAP come with the new features, SAP will upgrade these cloud environments, and all the organizations who are using the same platform, they need to accept those changes. So that is disadvantage. But again, in cloud there are different kind of services available from SAP side, like public cloud or private managed cloud or cloud as a service. So it depend which kind of option or service client will choose from SAP. So all the benefits and features of that service is depend upon whether it is a public or private managed cloud. Okay, let's go ahead. That is the third deployment option is hybrid deployment option. This hybrid deployment option is the combination of on-premise and cloud deployment option, and this hybrid deployment option can use processes which don't need any integration with SAP Business Suite and can be easily taken away from SAP Business Suite. Okay, so the big organizations which are using on-premise implementation or deployment option, they can choose to run specific functions such as a remote sales office or subsidiaries or recent mergers and acquisitions on cloud. Okay, and organizations can use the cloud with an integration with their on-premise deployment of on-premise system, and after that they can consolidate data for reporting and disclosures. So hybrid deployment option is the middle point of on-premise and cloud deployment option. Okay, this hybrid is a combination of on-premise and cloud, so client can decide which processes they want to run on on-premise system and which processes they want to run on cloud system. That is client choice. So these are the three deployment options: on-premise, cloud, and hybrid deployment options. So do you have any question here?
No.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about adoption scenarios for existing customers. So in this picture on left hand side upper corner, you can see the first option of adoption scenario, that is upgrade and migrate. So I will take an example of here on the left hand side, you can see three gray boxes. So I will take an example of three different SAP ERP or SAP R3 environments. Okay, so client want to go with this first option, upgrade and migrate. So in this option, what we are going to do, we are going to first upgrade the uh, database platform to SAP HANA. Okay, and then we are going to migrate it to S4HANA Finance. We are going to migrate the data to S4HANA Finance. So at the end, we will have three different systems, okay, who are upgraded and migrated to S4HANA Finance. In second adoption option is upgrade, migrate, and consolidate. Okay, again I will take an example of three different environments of SAP R3 or SAP ERP. So in this option, we are going to upgrade database to SAP HANA, then we are going to migrate data to S4HANA Finance, and at the same time we are going to consolidate the data from all these three environments. So at the end we will have only one environment, okay, which is upgraded, migrated, and consolidated to S4HANA Finance. And third option here is replicate into central finance system. Okay, so here again we'll take an example of three different environments which represents SAP ERP or SAP R3 or any other third-party ERP. So with the help of central finance solution, data is going to be replicate to S4HANA Finance system. Okay, so we are not going to upgrade or migrate or consolidate anything here in central finance system. Okay, old landscape will be there as it is. Okay, it will work as it is, and all the transactions which are going to be generated in this old landscape, those data values are going to be replicated into S4HANA Finance system. Okay, and there we can process that data. So this central finance solution or central finance system is useful for those clients who don't want to change their old landscape, but at the same time they want to get the benefits of this S4HANA Finance changes. Okay, so let's go to the next slide and understand the central finance solution in a better way. So in this picture, you can see on the left hand side there are two gray boxes which represents SAP ERP and non-SAP ERP, and both the environments are creating financial documents. Okay, so whenever any finance documents generated in these SAP or non-SAP environments, database is going to be triggered, and it is through SAP LTRS server, LTR server. We called it as a SLTR or SAP Landscape Transformation Replication Server. Through this server, data is going
Sorry,
to be.
Gaurav, we don't see your another screen. Same adoption scenarios. That screen only we can see.
Okay, so you are not able to see the Central Finance Solution screen.
No.
Okay. Okay, just a minute. I reshared my screen. Are you able to see?
No, Gaurav.
Okay. Hello, guys, are you able to see my screen?
No, Gaurav, still the same screen, adaptation scenarios. Maybe we need to rejoin, maybe?
No, 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 not needed. I am disconnecting and sharing my screen again. It should
Okay,
work.
okay.
Guys, just give me a moment. I will disconnect and rejoin again.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so are you able to see Central Finance Solution slide now?
Yes, now we can see.
Okay, great. Yeah. So I was explaining this slide. So on the left hand side, if you see, there are two gray boxes which represents SAP system and non-SAP system. Both the boxes creates financial or generates the financial documents. Okay, so whenever any financial document generated in the system, database will get triggered um, to S/4HANA Finance system. It takes help of SLTR server, that is SAP Landscape Transformation Replication Server, and with the help of this server, data will be come into S/4HANA Finance environment. But in between, there will be Central Finance Accounting interface, okay, which will do the business mapping and error correction, and after that, data will flow to S/4HANA Finance Universal Journal Entry solution. Okay, and here in this S/4HANA Finance environment, client can again rework on the data, or they can produce the reports, okay, or they can use the data for further processing. So this is how Central Finance Solution works. And Central Finance Solution is useful for those clients who don't want to change their old landscape. Okay, they are happy with their old landscape, or if their old landscape is very complex and they don't want to change SAP, old SAP environment or non-SAP environment, so they can go for the Central Finance Solution. And it is not required that client should have SAP system in place to use Central Finance Solution. They can connect any other financial systems to Central Finance Solution. So any question here regarding adoption scenarios?
Yeah. So
Yes.
in this Central Finance accounting interface, you are saying that client can make the changes or do their any adjustments also, right?
Yeah.
So Central Finance will sit on a SAP HANA database. That means, right?
Yeah, Central Finance will work on a SAP HANA database, and it's like a mediator which is going to be connect to non-SAP systems or old SAP systems to HANA environment as for HANA Finance.
And this also will be on another type of deployments like a cloud and on-premise, or only on-premise this Central Finance?
No, cloud is also available here.
Cloud and front end is a Fiori still.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So because initially we thought that SAP is recommending existing users or any users like 2025, after 2025, the database support will not be there. Then they have to replace their server to Central S/4HANA, right? But with this, we are saying if client want to go with the Central Finance, they don't need to change their existing database and existing environment from Oracle or traditional database to S/4HANA.
Yes. But after 2025, which is the deadline to move to S/4HANA, okay, so after 2025, SAP is not going to support your old systems. SAP is not going to release any old patches. SAP is not going to release any new patches or upgrade packages for our old system. But old systems can run thoroughly throughout the lifetime. Okay, and right now also there are clients who are working on 4.6 versions. Okay, and SAP is not supporting that version, but still client used to run their businesses on 4.6 versions. So in those kind of cases, client can go with the Central Finance, where their old landscape will be untouched, and at the same time they are getting S/4HANA Finance benefits also.
Yeah, as for SAP HANA benefits, but any issues like you are saying that SAP will not going to support 4.6 or even the higher version like 4.7 or new GL. but they don't want to change their existing database from traditional database to Oracle or traditional database to S4HANA. They can go with Central Finance. So if
Yes,
there are any no patches coming or no upgrades are going to come on traditional existing versions, but going on to the S4HANA through Central Finance, then how their issue is going to be solved in the existing one?
Yeah, that's
If
what.
they are
It
going
will
with
be
the Central
work.
Finance.
Yeah, till the time you are not facing any technical issues, you can run your system.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, and once you are facing any technical issue, at some point after 2030 or 2040, you need to decide to scrap this old system and go with the new one.
That's correct. But
And
all of
it
a
is not
sudden,
only about.
business will not. Yeah, business
Yeah,
will
yeah.
stand still, right?
Yes, yes, correct. Your point is very much correct. And this is not only about SAP systems. Non-SAP ERPs can also connect through Central Finance Solution.
Yeah, that is the
This is
functionality of the Central Finance. But the support-wise, existing landscape, SAP is saying that if you go with Central Finance, you don't need to go with changing your existing landscape.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they are saying that after 2025, they will not support.
Yes, correct. Very much correct.
Then what is the use and where the business has to, which deployment solution they has to choose?
Yeah, actually, this solution was introduced for those clients who are using um, more than one ERP or more than one financial system.
That's
Okay,
correct.
so
That's called heterogeneous systems.
yes,
Yeah, that's correct.
right.
Say heterogeneous systems, but it's not completely non-SAP systems we are talking. We are talking out of
Yes,
those heterogeneous systems, one system is SAP.
yes, correct. Yeah, so your point is very much valid, but this is the solution which provided by
Yeah,
SAP for
that's
those.
correct. Because you,
Yeah,
I just asked because you worked on one implementation. Currently, our client, we are not unable to decide which deployment solution to go move. That's the
yeah,
reason we want to
yeah.
start the project this year, but we stopped it.
Yeah. But again, the Central Finance Solution is totally different from HANA upgradation or S4HANA Finance implementation. Okay, and the Central Finance Solution requires more investment. Okay, because you need to set up this SAP SLTR server, SAP Landscape Transformation Replication Server. Okay, and the whole new implementation is going to be take place for Central Finance Solution. Okay, this is a separate solution apart from HANA database upgradation or S4HANA finance migration. So it requires huge investment. So this will be useful only for those organizations who are having big setup, and this is not for small organizations.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look on course introduction. So are you able to see the course introduction slide?
No, still on the CFS slide only.
Okay. Again over.
Now it changed. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So in our course, we are going to have an overview of SAP HANA, and we are going to have an overview of SAP S4HANA also. Then we'll see what are the scope and impact of S4HANA Finance. Then once we finish this theory part about SAP HANA and S4HANA Finance, then we are going to do the actual configuration for new functionalities in S4HANA Finance, which includes general GL accounting, asset accounting, management accounting, and we are going to do the configuration on the system. After that, we are going to move to the migration part. We are going to understand the prerequisites for migration to S4HANA Finance, configurations required for preparation of migration, and we are going to see the migration steps from classic and new GL accounting, which are available in Migration Cockpit. Okay, so basically this, and apart from this, we are going to have one session for Fury module overview also. So basically this course we can divide in three parts. Okay, first part is overview and scope and impact of SAP HANA and S/4HANA Finance. Okay, then we are going to move the practical session where we are going to configure in the system from scratch, from creation of company and company code. Okay, and going forward we are going to see the changes in terms of configuration, and once configuration is completed, we are going to post few transactions to see the impact of posting the data in table level, and how it is going to be looks like in new table. We are going to see those things. Once this configuration, we normally call this configuration part as a greenfield implementation, because we are going to do the configuration from scratch. Once this is completed, we are going to move to the third part of our course, that is migration. Okay, so in migration part, we are going to see what are the prerequisites required for migration, what are the configurations required for this, and what are the precautions we need to take before starting the migrations. Then we are going to see the migration steps which are available in migration cockpit provided by SAP. Okay, so this is the course layout. Okay, apart from this, we are going to have one session for Fiori module overview also. So any questions regarding the course contents?
In management accounting in depth, like what are the submodules we're going to cover?
In management accounting, we are going to see the changes in regards to cost center and profit centers. Okay, and we are going to understand the changes in terms of basic org structure of controlling.
But not the product costing and COPA, ML and all those.
No, those things are not covered here, because this course is designed to finish in 25 hours, 25 to 30 hours. Okay, and the product costing which you are talking about, product costing and material ledger, those things required more hours, so that is a separate course.
Okay, so that means this is a simple finance, only finance, not a management accounting.
Yeah, management accounting, in the terms of basic org structure changes which are going to affect on finance side.
Okay. So when we are not going through with the COPA and product costing, then we're not going to see the integration side also, like SD, FI, SD, MM integration. Because when we do COPA, then only and product costing, then only we need to do migration integration.
Is it? When you are not using COPA, then is it mean that there will not integration in your system between FI and SD?
Yeah, when we're not doing the product costing and we're not doing the COPA, posting the SD document, what is required. So when we do the SD document, then we need the product costing. Without a production, without the basic material cost, what we're going to sell it to the customers.
No,
So we need to do manually.
I meant to ask, when you don't have any production, still you can use SD module. And when, because if I'm just doing the trading, I'm not manufacturing anything, I'm not doing the production, so I can still use SD module, and I can still have the integration between FI and SD.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Without product costing, everything we have to do it like manually, like updating the material cost through MR. Then we can do the product costing.
Yes.
Okay.
Ashok, do you have any questions? Okay, guys, thanks for your time. Thanks for joining this demo session. So if you are having any questions after this this meeting. If you are having any queries in your mind, just get in touch with Nikita and she can arrange a call with me. Okay, and we can discuss your queries over phone.
Sure, Gaurav. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Ashok. Thanks, Shyam. Thanks,
Thank you.
Nikita. Bye bye.